Congress's first order of business for the new year will be to elect a new speaker this Friday. President-elect Donald Trump threw his support behind current Speaker of the House Mike Johnson yesterday, but it might not be enough. Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie says he is not voting for Johnson, and several others have also not committed to re-electing Johnson. Joining me now is Sam Stein, managing editor at The Bulwark, Carlos Cabello, former Republican congressman from Florida, and Michael Hardaway, former communications director and spokesman for Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. Welcome, guys. Good to have all of you here. So, Sam, some GOP lawmakers are still holding their support out. They're not saying what they're going to do. But here's what Speaker Johnson said about all that last night.
I think that those members and all of them want to be a part of these solutions. They made big promises to their constituents in this campaign cycle, and we've got to deliver upon them now. It's the media and the left that wants to divide us and distract us. We can't fall into that trap. We've got to stay united.
What do you make of his response there, really making the case for himself?
Well, there's not much more he can do, right? He got the biggest endorsement he needed, which was Donald Trump. And Donald Trump said no, it would have been done. But that doesn't make him in the clear at all. He's got a razor-thin majority. He can stand to lose two, I think, potentially members. And what that does is that incentivizes every Republican member to try to extract some sort of promise or pledge from him, right? If you're going to be the one who could hold him over the barrel, you might as well get something in return. And so Mike Johnson has a difficult path ahead of him. Doesn't mean he can't pull it off. I think the best thing he is going for them is, if not him, who else, right? No one is going to unite this party other than Trump and maybe Elon Musk. And so he's going to be using a mix of sticks and carrot. And in the end, he can only afford to lose one in addition to Tom Massie. So it's going to be tight.
Yeah. And so, Carlos, to that end, I mean, even with Donald Trump's support now, Elon Musk co-signed Trump's endorsement initially, but after Massie said he wouldn't support Johnson for a variety of reasons, Musk then commented, quote, "You might be right, but let's see how it goes." So, look, we know Musk and Trump have become very close, but how much sway do you think Musk is going to have over Congress, either directly or indirectly through Trump?
Well, Alex, I think that was put to the test about 10 days ago when Elon Musk and Donald Trump teamed up to try to bully or intimidate Republicans into passing a suspension of the debt ceiling. And you saw about 40 House Republicans say, well, sorry, we're just not going to do that at this point. So I don't think that this is going to have as much of an impact as people are as much attention as people are giving it. And at the end of the day, the Republicans who are not happy with Mike Johnson, they simply have nowhere else to go. There are no alternate candidates out there. The men who could compete against Johnson, people like Steve Scalise, who's the majority leader, Tom Emmer, who's the majority whip, Jim Jordan, who's a prominent committee chairman, they already tried to become speaker, and they could not get a sufficient number of votes. So really, this is Mike Johnson's race to lose. I think a few of these members, maybe a handful, are going to try to get some concessions, some changes, amendments to the House rules package. We certainly saw that when Kevin McCarthy was trying to become speaker and ultimately did for 8 months. So that's what's going on here.
So, Michael, if they don't have a speaker, let's say by Monday, Congress then won't be able to certify the presidential election. Does that mean Democrats could try to save Johnson to try to just avoid any kind of a messy start to this Congress, or you think that won't happen?
Leader Jeffries has already made clear that he's not planning to step in to save Johnson this time around. I mean, the Republican conference, at some capacity, has to figure out how it's going to operate in this term. To the point that was made earlier, they have a razor-thin majority on every single vote. And so it's not the job of House Democrats to step in and save them from their own chaos. You're not going to see that next term.
What are the chances Hakeem Jeffries could be elected speaker? I mean, come on, Michael. I know those, the other two, you can't see them. They're shaking their head, but...
Well, listen, here's the thing. He would actually work in a bipartisan manner to get things done. I don't think Republicans would vote for him, but if they were smart, they would, because the reality is that outside of Mike Johnson, Republicans don't have a viable candidate for speaker. And so if they take him down for some reason, then they don't really have anyone to step in who's viable for that role.
I mean, unprecedented that would be, but Anyway, Sam, let's take a look at this, because on Friday, Trump posted this pretty random message on Truth Social that the New York Times says was seemingly meant for Musk. Here's what it said, quote, "Where are you? When are you coming to the center of the universe? Mar-a-Lago, Bill Gates asked to come tonight. We miss you and X. New Year's Eve is going to be amazing." So what is your reporting telling you about how Republicans are responding to Trump's seeming reliance on Elon Musk? I mean, the New York Times also reports that he's essentially living at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, that was a weird post. Not going to lie. It felt like it maybe was a DM that he accidentally put in public. You know, we've all been there, I suppose. As for Musk, he clearly has outsized influence over Trump. We saw this a week ago or this past week with the debate over H-1B visas. This is something that Trump has in the past been very clear. He's against the program for high-skilled visas. And because Elon Musk supported it, because Elon Musk took a sharp stance against some conservatives over it, Trump ultimately sided with Elon Musk. And not only that, said he has long been a supporter of the program, which is just factually not true. So clearly Elon Musk is setting out policy. Elon Musk is involved in calls with world leaders. It's an unprecedented amount of power for an unelected person who has no real accountability here because he wasn't voted on for this position. He's going to have a lot of sway over the budget. He's going to have a lot of say over foreign policy, over domestic policy, and he has billions upon billions of government contracts. What I've noticed, which is of interest in the past couple of days, is that some conservatives who are on the other side of that H-1B debate are starting to raise concerns about those conflicts of interest, saying why should we be okay with someone who has this much on the line, this much financial interest at stake, having such proximity to the president. I don't think that's going to spread very far. I think a lot of Republicans really worship Elon and know that he's a huge threat to them politically if he ever turns them and funds their primary opponents. But it's been interesting to watch that happen.
That last point you made, though, Sam, does that help explain why Trump and Musk are so close right now? Do you think it lasts? What could break them up?
Of course, when someone spends $250 million getting you elected and owns one of the biggest social media platforms and boosts you constantly, you feel indebted to him. And not only that, you don't want to piss him off, right? Like, you don't want to anger him. What can make it problematic is if Musk takes too much of the spotlight. You saw Elon Musk say a couple weeks ago he doesn't want the Time magazine cover person of the year. He thinks it should go to Trump. He's aware of that. Elon Musk is also aware of people trying to push that narrative that he's outshining Trump too. But that would be the thing that
That wouldn't go over well. Quickly to you, Carlos, what have you been hearing about GOP feelings towards Musk and his perceived shadow presidency? I mean, to Sam's point, a lot of people have said, hey, we don't remember voting for Elon Musk.
Yeah, I can tell you that there are a good number of members of Congress who do not like the idea of, for the next 2 to 4 years, having to deal not just with Donald Trump's posts on social media, but also with Elon Musk's. And I do think that Musk is going to overshoot when it comes to Congress. Members of Congress aren't as sensitive to the threats and the kinds of theater that Musk is known for. So I think some of this might go too far and might actually start doing more harm than good.
We will see. Sam, Carlos, Michael, good to see you all. Thank you so much.